Hi there, this is Jefferson. Why would ever someone in the world advocate the movement Zeitgeist? Why? Because they understood the idea. Because they understood the idea. That's basically it. If you understand it, you say, it's not about the movement. It's about I. It's about us. It's about change. That not only has to happen, must, but there's no way out of it. It's crazy. Keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Remember the Great Depression? I'm sure if you were not there, you've read about it, you've heard about it. Have we changed anything? Probably we have more laws, right? More smart asses. That's about it. But if we don't change anything, there's no expecting something different to happen. It is just not gonna happen. So there will have another, and then another depression, and then another, and then another, until you say, what? Enough is enough.
Here's a father who loves his family. He's an honorable citizen. He makes good money. He contributes to the community, his church. He's a good man. But this morning he's in a hurry in Los Angeles, late for an appointment, and he's pushing it with his automobile. He comes to the intersection and the light turns red, and a little voice in his head says, "Go ahead, you're late. You can make it." And now he's dead. You don't have to go to Iraq to lose your life. You don't have to be evil to lose your life. All you have to be is a little careless at an unfortunate moment.
It is important that we all understand what is going on. What are we doing? We are fighting each other over resources. We don't even care to manage properly. And that's to be expected because we have no education.
The problem is that the current system of education was designed and conceived and structured for a different age. It was conceived in the intellectual culture of the Enlightenment and in the economic circumstances of the Industrial Revolution. Before the middle of the 19th century, there were no systems of public education. Not really. I mean, you could get educated by Jesuits, you know, if you had the money. But public education, paid for from taxation, compulsory to everybody and free at the point of delivery, that was a revolutionary idea. And many people objected to it. They said it's not possible for many street kids, working class children, to benefit from public education. They're incapable of learning to read and write, and why are we spending time on this? So there's also built into it a whole series of assumptions about social structure and capacity.
In essence, to me, all of the marvels of science and technology, all of the electronics and mechanical wonders are just so many millions of tons of junk unless it enhances the lives of men. The reason we emphasize machines and technology is to free men to go to art centers, music centers, cultural centers, and to find the meaning of their own existence and lives.
How much can machines do? Can they run the things that are necessary to run?
Well, Mr. King, if we can launch a rocket off the Earth while it's turning, find a place on the moon, land it automatically, pick up samples of the soil, bring the ship back without humans, I think the Russians have done this, bring the ship back to the Earth, surely we can handle airliners, or anything else with redundancy.
You know what we do? As far as government goes, sure enough, you are aware. But I'm going to tell it anyways. You know what we do? Basically, we say, oh, have a look. We have this idea. We want to put 5 and 5 together and see what, you know, what is going to be the total sum of 5 plus 5. And then, you know, they vote. They vote. You know, it's not 5 plus 5 is not up to discussion. It's not up to voting. It's not about the majority telling what it is. It is math. It's science. And sure enough, science must be put to test, of course. But we're not there yet. What is happening today, when you tell someone 5 plus 5 is 10, they say, hold it, hold it. Let's discuss. And I say, no, it's not open to discussion. You know, this is not something that you discuss. Oh, let's discuss. You know, probably, who knows? If you wait a little longer, perhaps it's going to turn into 11, 10,000, who knows? You know, so this is how the political world works with your agreement. Because if you don't say anything, you're saying, yes, sir, by default.
When I was a young man growing up in New York City, I refused to pledge allegiance to the flag. Of course, I was sent to the principal's office, and he asked me, why don't you want to pledge allegiance? Everybody does. I said, everybody wants to believe the earth was flat, but that doesn't make it so. I explained that America owed everything it has to other cultures and other nations, and that I would rather pledge allegiance to the earth and everyone on it. Needless to say, it wasn't long before I left school entirely, and I set up a lab in my bedroom. There I began to learn about science and nature. I realized then that the universe is governed by laws, and that the human being, along with society itself, was not exempt from these laws.
The problem is they're trying to meet the future by doing what they did in the past. And on the way, they're alienating millions of kids who don't see any purpose in going to school. When we went to school, we were kept there with a story, which is if you worked hard and did well and got a college degree, you would have a job. Our kids don't believe that. And they're right not to, by the way. You're better having a degree than not, but it's not a guarantee anymore. And particularly not if the route to it marginalizes most of the things that you think are important about yourself.
You don't want to do that anymore. You don't want to have your children, you don't want to have your children to go to school and by the end of 10 years, they simply don't know anything other than being a slave. And this is how our educational system works, right? Simple. This is simple physics. Nothing in, nothing out. So, of course, you don't have time. Of course, the time you have, you can't enjoy because you have debt, because you must work harder for things that just broke and need to be fixed. You don't have time to learn these things, right? But many have. And sure enough, you're seeing this video. It is time. It's time for awakening. And the Great Awakening is that there's no they, there's no pointing fingers, there's no saying, hey, wait, hold it. It's all about what they did to us. No, there's no they. There's all of us playing the game of conformity for the sake of living the good life that we don't even know what it is. Because we don't know better. Because we are uninformed. You see? And I'm sure about this. The truth will set you free. Not the majority voting what is right. When we have science, have you seen the Venus Project? Well, you should. Jacques is awesome. His entire life spent on trying to figure out a way, that we can have a sustainable world, a self-sustaining system that considers the planet, that considers its people. So just like I was saying, we are in a crisis. We are in the middle of a crisis. We're trashing each other. We're trashing our planet. And we're not even having fun with it. So think about it. And those are the reasons why you should inform yourself. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It is not up to that. We're all, even in religion, right? We all have revelations that point to the unification of the human race through kindness, through charity, through faith in action, through loving one another and doing what we can. To transform here below as it is above, And above, if you are the guy that believes in life after death, sure enough, you are aware, there are astral cities that are just like the Venus Project model, the Venus Project's model. Have a look. Anyways, I thank you very much for the time, and I hope people can flood the internet too, with their own ideas of what could be a better future for us. Don't just sit down and say, oh no, I don't believe this. Suggest something else. Say something. You're important. We all are, right? So, and skip the trash. You don't have to blame people. Just skip the trash. Your time is valuable. It's important. Don't just waste it. All right? Thank you.